Welcome to task 3, which takes place in the offices here. Notice as you go in, there's a list of the 5 richest people here. Maybe you'll get on the list. So let's go in and see what we need to do in Unit 3. As we go into Unit 3, we can see here Task 1. We need to sit down at Task 1. So let's sit down at Task 1. And I have to wait for a partner because Task 1 can only be done if you have a partner. Now, the card is loading here on the side. Now there are 2 role plays, role play 1 and role play 2. The first is your partners introducing themselves. Respond using the following phrases. Now maybe you'll get the other side of the argument, of the discussion, or maybe not. But once you've done this together, you go to the next role play, which is the next one here. And your partner is telling you about a colleague of theirs. Respond using the following phrases. When you both finish during the role play, you click on End Role Play. By the way, notice here in the corner an ATM machine that you'll need. And then the next part of the assignment, and if you go to Task Information, we can see it clearly. Introductions. There are 3 parts to this task. Together with a fellow student, sit at a Task 1 table and do both role plays together. That's what we just did. Then for the final part, click the podium on the stage and introduce a special guest to the audience. So let's go and do that now. I'm going to go to the podium. This is called the podium here. When I click on it, I get to stand behind the podium and I choose somebody I'd like to introduce everybody to. Let's say Paul McCartney. So I have the text to read here. And as I'm doing it, the person watching, or all the students watching, will be able to give me feedback and also a round of applause. And so you read the text and you add in your own words. Now, while the students are looking, they get to see the picture of the person I've chosen behind me. Let's do stand. And the next activity, you look here, is actual job interviews. So we've got Office 1 job interview, Office 2, which is Task 3 consensus. Then we have a role play, Task 4. So let's show you around and show you where to go. Everything is signposted here, so you should be able to get to the right place. So let's go. We need to go through here where it says reception. Okay? So let's go through here. And through, can you see it says offices? So we go through here. And past the elevators, you can see, just follow the arrows to the offices, offices. And again, we come to a notice board, just like we had in Unit 1. And we'll see these in many places. And what you need to do is to click here to book an appointment so that you can meet the teacher. Now we go into this office here. And for Task 2, you have 2 people that you have to, that will interview you. One this side and also somebody the other side. Okay, so we're going to do both of these interviews. You sit on the chair and you do the interviews. And then we go to the next room. I'll meet you there. Now let's look at task 3. Again, if you see there's this yellow mark on the floor, as soon as I'm in this area, I can't hear people outside. So you have to sit down here. Once there is more than one person sitting at the table, the task will begin. So as soon as somebody else sits down, we get to see the board, and this exercise is to come to a consensus. We've got the position of electrician. You put on your microphone and you speak to your partner. What attribute do you think will make a good electrician? We've got all these different ones here. Is it important they have a sense of humor? And what you do is you discuss by speaking to the people and in your group, and you choose which of the 3 you want. And then once you've decided and come to a consensus, you go to the next position, and then you get to see a different job. The last assignment you do in the offices is with the teacher. You sit down here, and there'll be a teacher here to give you a real interview for a job. So basically, we've really done so much here in this unit because we've prepared you for taking an interview, and in the end you actually do an interview. If we look at the task information again, we can see that the last 2 things are similar to what we had before. We have the song of the week in the music store, and we have the quiz in the library, plus a lot of games in the library, and the ATM machines. Each time these exercises are different, and together you get to learn more and more vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and all the things you need.